For being here. It's Wednesday, it's 7 o'clock. It's time for Ask Drew Anything, which is not on the board. I'll fix that in just a second. It's our Wednesday weekly workshop. And the way that these go, if this is your first time watching this, is you get to ask whatever question is coming to mind for you, and I'll chime in on it. I will encourage you to keep the questions pretty much revolving around natural health kind of things, because I'm not really good with cars and I don't know how to hang gutters. So let's keep it to natural health as much as possible. You get to ask whatever question. If you're on YouTube, chat that question right in. If you're on Instagram, chat that question right in. If you don't want people to see your user handle on YouTube or Instagram asking a question, just give us a call. 262-505-5012. We'll answer the phone. We'll take your question. We'll talk about it right here on the board.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff, the heart health and omega-3, was that just this Saturday?
Yes, this past Saturday. You had a class on that.
Yeah. Now, those Thursday and Saturday workshops that we do here, those are specifically for clients. If you're a client, you can attend them in person for free and bring 2 guests for free. Mm-hmm. You can be sent the Zoom link so you can watch from the comfort of your home. And if you can't make it in person or on the Zoom link, shoot us an email and we will send you a link to the video. We record all of those Thursday and Saturday workshops and we put them on YouTube. They're just a private video. But if I send you that link, you can watch it then. Okay? I want you to have all that info that we have. So let those questions start rolling in. We are here to answer those questions. I want to tell you something that's really fun that's been happening for a few weeks around here. But first, I got to make sure people know this is Ask Drew Anything. There we go. I feel much better. All right, so this week around 3D Wellness. First of all, we've been having an incredible week. For my clients who came in on Monday and especially Tuesday, this part of Wisconsin, the high was 0 degrees on Tuesday before the wind was blowing. And we didn't have a single cancellation because of weather.
Right.
I love you guys so much. Like, y'all are, I love it.
They're committed, Drew.
Right? So
Yes.
this week, big show of commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of mood stuff, both mood being too high, so anxious is what I call that. Mood being too low, like depression. Lots of mood stuff going on. We got some resolution to a UTI case. That's a happy woman right there. I'm going to tell you firsthand, that's a very, very happy woman. We, for weeks, have been corresponding with someone who lives in France. So Marianne, if you're watching this, and often I know you do, bonjour. It's been really exciting to know that the content we're making on YouTube is making its way around the world. It's really, really exciting for us.
That's fantastic.
We had back pain that was going away. And that was an interesting one because a lot of people, they deal with nerve pain and they don't know that there are certain nutrients that can actually help your body to resolve the nerve pain. Often we hear about muscle relaxers or anti-inflammatory stuff. But in this particular case with the back pain, we had to talk about nerve food, which was really good because it kicked in just a few days. And then sleep. I've had a number of clients in about the last 2 weeks especially say, I'm having trouble with sleep because it's getting dark so early. It feels like my body doesn't know when it should actually go to sleep. In the summertime, it gets dark and an hour later I should be asleep. In the wintertime, it's dark at 5. Can't go to bed at 6 p.m. I gotta put the kids to bed or take the dog out or do all these other things. So we came up with some strategies, some natural ways to help them sleep better. Friendly shout out, we have a handout from an old workshop I did all about sleep. If you want that info, our email's right here, 3dnewberlin@gmail.com. We can send that over to you. When I mentioned that about the immune workshop a few weeks ago, we got a chiropractic clinic a few hours north of us who reached out. I wanted that immune handout. That was great.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that. I want everybody to know this stuff.
Well, we have a chat rolling in on YouTube.
Excellent.
Very simply stated, is toddler high fever remedies.
Okay, give me an age on the toddler and we can jump right into that. I'm going to use red because it's hot.
Two and three.
2 and 3. Cool, we can do this. Reason I ask that is because I'm about to make a whole bunch of whole food supplement recommendations. Wanted to make sure the kids were old enough to take the supplements. For most kiddos, it is before the toddler stage. It's around 1 year old that we can start to do these whole food supplements. Still always like to check the age. I don't specifically know the person, so I want to make sure that I'm gathering enough details to do an accurate job. Fever remedies. The first one that I really like is calcium lactate powder. We use the powder because that's way easier with toddlers. People can get really hung up on, I can get my kid to take a powder, but I have to mix it with a sweet juice, and then I feel like I'm giving them sugar. If your kid has a fever, getting the calcium into their system is way more important than worrying about, well, they got like 16 ounces of apple juice that day. If that gets the calcium in, that's what we're doing. We won't do that every day. Wouldn't do that every day. What you want to do is monitor the fever, and every 30 minutes, you give 1/8 of a teaspoon of the calcium lactate, which I'm going to abbreviate right here, the calcium lactate powder, and 1 Cataplex F. Both of these are made by standard process. The Cataplex F is a tablet, crushes really easily between 2 spoons. You don't need anything fancy like a pill crusher or anything. Just put it between 2 spoons and crush it into a powder. Every 30 minutes, check the fever, administer these amounts, and then check 30 minutes later and see what the fever is doing. Here's what usually happens. It takes about 2 or 3 hours for the fever to get better. Okay? So keep that in mind first of all. You're probably going to give between 4 to 6 doses of this before you really see the fever getting better. So this is a good time for me to point out, if the fever is climbing higher while you're doing this, or if the fever is already at 103, it's time to stop supplements and get medical intervention. It's really important. We don't futz around with cooking the brain, okay? So what's really common is you get doses usually around 4 to 6 of them in a row, so like 2 to 3 hours, and then it'll be good for a few hours, for 2 to 3 hours, and then you need more doses. That's a really normal thing. So let's say the kid gets a fever at noon. You'll give this combination until 2 p.m. That would be 4 doses. You check the fever at 2 p.m. and you're like, hey, temperature is 99 degrees. I'm going to leave that alone. That's good enough. A few hours later, you check the temperature again. You go, oh, it's back up to 100.8. I'm going to go back to doing this for a few hours. That's really normal. It's not anything to freak out about. The science of why this helps fever so much is because one of the reasons the body warms itself up with a fever is it makes the calcium that's inside of our bones much more ionizable. Let me say that in English. Fever warms up your bones and makes the calcium in them usable for other parts of the body outside of the bones. And our immune system needs calcium for its first wave responders whenever it detects an invasion is taking place. If we provide calcium and the Cataplex F, which is like a delivery vehicle for the calcium, what you get is the body doesn't need to raise the temperature to get calcium to help the immune system. We're ingesting the calcium. We're getting it from a really easily digested source, so there's no need for the fever. The immune system continues to work because it continues to get the nutrients it's looking for. The fever is not necessary. Let me know if that answers your question and if that all made sense.
This person also said what they're currently giving the toddlers is Spanish black radish, liquid vitamin D, Cataplex C, and zinc chelate.
Wow, you have an advanced toddler. Well done. Kudos to you. I like that.
Uh-huh.
That sounds like a great combo. I would add in the calcium lactate and the Cataplex F with that close monitoring of taking that temp every 30 minutes once you start that routine. Chances are you have access to all the standard processed supplements already if you're doing the zinc and the Cataplex C and the Spanish black radish. If you ever need that stuff, you can either call us, email us. You can also go to our Insight website. All of those, it's on our website. It's all easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to help.
Well, I can attest this remedy for fevers does work. I use that quite often on my young kiddos, and it's really effective. So, yeah, I was very grateful.
Yeah, I've used this with parents in the office. So if somebody calls us and says, "My kid is ill, I just want recommendations," we can do that. It's not as accurate as what we prefer to do, which is somebody calls in and says, "My kid is ill." We go, "Great, we have an opening today at this time. We'll see you then."
Mm-hmm.
In the past, what I've done is the kiddo comes in. We always tell the parent, if there's a fever, I need you to bring your thermometer because we're going to break the fever in the office. And we crack open a bottle of each one of these. We have 2 spare offices most days of the week here when not all of our practitioners are operating at the same time. And we have mom and the kiddo set up in there. We got the nice coloring book for the kiddo. We got books for mom or dad or whoever's with them to read. And mom gives the supplements. They monitor the temperature. And what usually happens is within an hour or two, the mom goes, "Hey, the fever's breaking." We're like, "Cool, you're more than welcome to stay. We got room for you. If not, you can head home. You know what to do and you know that it's working." And often we get a call a few hours later, "Hey, the fever's coming back. More doses, no big deal.
Yeah.
The immune system is still active." That's all that means.
Yeah, cool.
Really good question. And always Spanish black radish, even for toddlers. Always Spanish black radish. All right, what else have we got?
Nothing rolling in on the chats.
Okay. Would you be my hero and grab my water from Royal?
Sure will.
Thank you. We have our consult rooms here are named after our professional nutritional heroes. So the primary consult room that we have is named after Dr. Royal Lee, who started Standard Process. Thank you. The second consult room that we have is named after Dr. Weston A. Price. And the third room, we go back and forth. I kind of like Melvin Page. He was a dentist. I also like Francis Pottinger. He was a guy who did a study with cats showing how food influences, the food of the parent influences the offspring, and how the worse the food is across generations, it makes the offspring progressively worse until one generation decides to turn all that around. And then you can actually reverse the problems that developed by correcting the food. Maybe we just need more offices so we can have a Page room and a Pottinger room. Maybe that's all we need.
We've got Rescue Mama with us. We've got Heidi with us.
Oh, good.
Hi, guys.
Howdy. All right.
Well, you want me to lay one on you, Drew?
Of course.
All right. So I've been seeing a lot of things that's called mud water, and I was going to ask you about it last week, and then I noticed you have some here.
I have
like,
some here.
Tell me about it. What's the word on mud water?
Sure, I got to write in brown. It's a good thing I have these color options. All right, mud water has a totally hilarious advertising campaign. The gentleman who started the company said that he was getting sick of coffee and the jitters that he would get from it and the caffeine crash and that kind of thing. So what he decided to do was start to mix up different things that could give him energy without just being like a caffeine bomb. And he came to mud water. I don't know the formula for the original mud water. I know that it's a mix of things like mushrooms. I believe that there are some adaptogenic herbs. Adaptogenic, the word actually really accurately describes the action of the herbs. They adapt to help whatever your body needs. Thank you. Pretty smart little thing there. Other herbs, not adaptogens, but things like turmeric. I think there's turmeric in this one. Yeah, like turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory. The idea with it is you could have this product. Here's the one that I use. It's got the green tea in it. So it's got matcha and ginger, lion's mane, which is a mushroom, cordyceps, which is a mushroom, chaga, reishi, both mushrooms, and then cinnamon, turmeric, and Himalayan salt. It's pretty tasty, actually. I've liked green tea for a really long time, and I kept seeing these ads, and when I saw the ingredient list and there wasn't poison in it, I was like, all right.
Give it a try.
I'll give it a try. I like it a lot. My brain feels really good on it. If you've not heard of lion's mane, this is a really good mushroom for you to know about. Lion's mane is one of the few mushrooms that's been studied a lot. There is a study where they used lion's mane to help people who had been concussed, who got a concussion, resolve the concussion. They found that there was some neurogenesis, that means creation of nervous system cells, in the people who were taking lion's mane. Wonderful mushroom, wonderful mushroom. Helps a lot of people who don't have brain trauma just focus better and feel more tuned in. That mud water, the green tea one that I've been drinking, that is my 10:30, 11, 11:30. I got a few more hours until lunch. I want to stay really tuned. Drop a teaspoon of that in some hot water, and I'm good to go. But they have multiple versions.
Okay.
So if you go to their website, you'll see a bunch of versions. And I don't know all the versions. I really like the green tea one. I think it's called matcha chai.
It is.
It doesn't taste like chai. Sorry, mud water. Mud water, if you see this, somebody tag mud water in this for me. I see that you added things that are in chai to it. It does not taste like chai. It tastes like green tea. So that's mud water.
Any idea what the story is behind calling it such a terrible name?
Yeah, that's sorry. The owner of the company, when he started to mix up all the stuff to actually make it,
yes,
all of his friends, when they would see him drink it, they'd be like, "Dude, what's in your glass? It looks like mud."
Oh, okay.
He just rolled with it. Yeah. So the story goes.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's quite a few different herbs that we like to mix up here and use in place of things like caffeine or other stimulants. We have a number of liquid herbs that are just ready to dispense to people in like little 2-ounce bottles. But one thing we like to do is we have some larger bottles that are 7 ounces, and we'll mix different herbs that we know are very energizing without being stimulating, so that if you needed to focus on something or get something done later in the evening, maybe like a live stream that starts at 7, which is a little later than a lot of things, but you want to stay tuned and focused without being overstimulated, you can take a shot of those herbs. You feel good because your body is being nourished to perform the way it's supposed to. Questions, Roland?
Yes, we've got a question on both YouTube and Instagram. I'll read the one that came in first. This is from Heidi.
Yeah.
Any suggestions for thick chest congestion?
Oh, Heidi.
Fenugreek helps a little bit.
Fenugreek helps a little bit. Cool. So I'm glad you know that. Did you catch that garbage that was floating around your house, Heidi? What'd you do that for? All right. So thick mucus, specific to the chest. All right. So I'm really glad you're already on Fengray. For those of you who don't know, Fengray is a standard process supplement. It is the herb fenugreek, which has been used for thousands of years medicinally. If a mother is having trouble with lactation, fenugreek is incredible to support milk production in a mama's body. But don't worry, fellas, you can take it too. It won't make you make milk. And ladies who aren't breastfeeding, it won't make you make milk. Okay. How many times can I say make you make milk? What it also does really well is it nourishes mucosal membranes. So eyeballs, ears, sinuses, vagina, rectum, intestines, those areas. It makes healthy mucus, which isn't super thick, but still protects those tissues. You want some mucus in your nose, so when you breathe in all the different things in the air, some of those unfavorable components of the air stick to that mucus, and when you blow your nose later, you can get rid of those unfavorable things. So Heidi's telling us that Fengray is a little bit of help. Really good start. I really like a supplement Amphiplex. Now, if it's the Heidi that I think it is,
yes, it probably is.
There's wheat germ in that one. It's not gluten-free, so it can't totally fly with that one. But I want people to know that this is a lung multivitamin. I use Amphiplex a lot when people have thick mucus in their chest. I also use it a lot when I'm helping people to quit smoking anything, for the record. Lori, in the standard process Medi-Herb section, top shelf, there's a liquid Bronch Effect and another liquid Resco. If you'd please grab those.
Okay.
Now there's two other remedies that I know you'll be able to use because they're both gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. They have some alcohol in them, but that's how you preserve a lot of the herbs. The first one is called Bronch Effect. It's a lovely human in my life, my wife right now. We're using quite a bit of Bronch Effect. I'll take Bronch first. Thank you. Bronch Effect. Is this pretty close to the screen?
Closer. Okay.
Going on YouTube? Cool. This 1 teaspoon mixed with hot water and like a teaspoon or two of raw honey 3 times a day. So a teaspoon of this with a teaspoon of raw honey, hot water, make it like a tea. Thing I want you to know, Bronch Effect. Bronch is the key part of that. It's the bronchi. So anatomically speaking, in terms of how our airways are built, the bronchi are upper lung area. They're going to be up in here. So if you feel like you have a lot of mucus in your body, a lot of congestion, if you feel like your cough is starting from this area, Bronch Effect is the way to go. Now, some people feel like their cough starts from lower in the lungs. Okay, it's like ribs stop here. They feel like their cough starts just above that. Okay, that's when we're going to go to Resco. Also going to be 3 teaspoons a day. You can make it like a tea. If you don't want to make it like a tea, that's fine. Thank you. Here's the Resco. I'm going to zoom it in. Woo! Okay, different formula. Little bit of overlap on ingredients, but not much at all. You don't have to make it like a tea. I think with the warm water, that also has some kind of effect on the mucus. And it really doesn't taste bad. 3 teaspoons a day, whether you're just taking that teaspoon or mixing it like a tea. Resco, since this is upper lung, this one is lower lung. Some people feel like their cough is originating from both the upper and the lower lung. In that case, you're going to slightly lower your dose. You can use both of these side by side, but if you're using both, then it becomes 2 teaspoons each a day. So when you're doing that combo, totally safe to do the combo. If you feel like your cough is coming from up here and the lower lung. Okay. Once we get the lungs clear of that mucus, there's a third lung remedy that I really like, and it's called Pulmoco. Pulmoco is overall lung support. So after we clear a bunch of garbage out of a lung, I really like, actually I'm going to take that back. After we clear garbage out of any part of the body, I like to put some kind of nourishment into that area of the body to establish a new norm. So in the lungs, I would use Pulmoco to establish that new, healthier norm. Hope that answers the question. The other thing I'm realizing I got to point out, I just showed you that the broncheffect and the Resco are in liquids. I like the liquids a lot. They also come in a tablet form. So if you're like, can't do taste, or I can't do alcohol, or I don't have time for tea, all right, we have the tablet form also. Like I just mentioned a little while ago, all of our liquid herbs, we can sell you this full bottle. It's just under 7 ounces. If you want to keep it around your house, it doesn't expire for well over a year, if it even expires then. So you could keep this on hand. If you just want 2 ounces, if you just want enough to get you through something, we can also just sell you 2 ounces. It's a lot less expensive. Try to make it work for all the people. So yeah, whether it's liquid or tablets, we have remedies for upper, lower, and then full recovery. Keep doing the fenugreek while you're doing these. If you can take Amphiplex, do that while you're adding in some of these herbs. It is a very powerful combination to put the whole food supplements with the herbal supplements. Great question, Heidi. Did that answer your question, Heidi? Let me know. I've been using a lot of broncheffect around our house lately. I've been taking it just prophylactically. I think as a tea, it's really good. Have you ever tried it?
I have not.
Okay, I'm going to have to make you some sometime.
Okay. Maybe with the mud water.
Oh, jeez.
Or was that going to ruin it?
It's going to, you would have no idea what broncheffect tastes like if you mix it with mud water. Yeah.
Alrighty. I'll just let you handle it then.
Okay.
All right. Little shout out to Saki Bomb.
Oh, cool.
Hi.
What's up, Ricky?
All right. And then
Question
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations for post-care after hair transplant or anything I should be aware of?
I love this question. Reminds me of a joke one of my uncles told me probably 35 years ago.
Oh, do tell us.
Yes, he goes, yeah, I went to go get a hair transplant, but found it was really expensive. And I was worried about the cost. Now, I want to maintain my look, so I was, kind of brainstorming with the doctor, see what we could do to cut down on the costs. And the doctor said, well, the expensive part is not so much what, area of hair you're having transplanted. It's like the whole procedure, because we got to make sure that we, where we take the hair from, that we don't hurt it. We're harvesting this hair to transplant. We got to be really careful. And my uncle said that he found the solution. He's like, got great news. You don't have to be super careful. If you would take the hair from my butt, I got plenty of it. You don't even have to do a great job and be super careful. If we can make that work, could we drop the cost on my hair transplant? Doctor didn't go for it.
Whoa.
That was always his joke.
Funny uncle.
Yeah, oh man, there's a lot of jokes I can't tell that he told me. Anyways, hair transplant support. So we want to make sure that we are nourishing the skin. We're going to do that with Dermatrophin PMG. This is also, hopefully on YouTube, you've seen my ABCs of SP video series. That's where I did a 1-minute video on every single standard process supplement that there is right now. Definitely did a video on Dermatrophin PMG. Whenever we see PMG, that means anti-inflammatory and specific nutrition for the tissue in front of it, in this case, skin. Derma as in dermal as in skin. So we're getting anti-inflammation in the skin. That's going to help the follicles to do their thing, the hair follicles, and it's nourishment. If the skin isn't healthy, the hair won't grow. Okay, so that's the first thing we want to do. We always take our PMG supplements on an empty tummy. I'm going to tell you to take 3 of them a day. Empty stomach. Wake up first thing in the morning. Keep the bottle in your bathroom. You wake up to use the toilet. Pop 3 PMG real quick. 20 minutes later, you can start eating. Okay. Second thing is one of my secret weapons from Standard Process. Criminally underused by the majority of practitioners. One of my favorite things for liver and skin and hair. It's called Fortil B12. It's loaded with Spanish moss, which is also known as tillandsia. And tillandsia is incredibly nourishing in a specific type of vitamin E. And that vitamin E helps your body with various hormones. Now, this is an important thing to understand. It's not just going to crank up the production on hormones. It's going to help your body know, I need to produce more of this hormone or less of this other hormone, because it's nourishing the mechanisms associated with hormones. This does not force hormone production. This helps the part of your body that regulates hormones to perform optimally. This one you need to go pretty aggressive with. We're going to do 6 a day of this one. I want those hormones related to healthy hair growth, things like testosterone, estrogen, to be getting balanced out while you're going through that, okay? And then because it is a bit of a procedure, I think it's really important to take chlorophyll complex just to help you recover from the procedure. Even if you only do this one short term, like for 2 or 3 weeks. Anytime a client's having any surgery, dental surgery, abdominal surgery, shoulder surgery, cosmetic surgery, whatever. Chlorophyll complex, I really like people to take that one. I would have you take 2 a day. If you grab one of the small bottles, I think there's 60 in there. Oh, you don't need to actually grab one. I'm just thinking in the small bottle, there's 60 in there. That would be a month's supply then, one and done in terms of bottles. Mm-hmm. So I want your skin to be good, I want your hormones to be good, and I want your body to recover from the surgery. That's what I would do for a hair transplant. I've only had 2 clients have hair transplants. One of them got to go to Turkey for it. And apparently Turkey is like the hair transplant capital of the world. I did not know this. They fly you out there, you get a really nice hotel room, you have to stay there for a few weeks because they want to make sure everything's good. Mm-hmm. But he came back and he's like, dude, I'm thinking about having another one just so I can go back. Just so I can get treated that way again.
I love it.
Let me know if that answers your question.
Should I take horsetail? Is a follow-up question to that.
Really good question. So horsetail is an herb that's rich in the mineral silica. Silica is really good for healthy hair, skin, and nails. I see no issue with that. You can do some horsetail. That's going to help the hair that you're growing. So that's a little bit less related to the actual process of the transplant. That would be after the procedure, just to help the hair grow well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I like horsetail. Usually if you're getting a good potent liquid version of horsetail, I know MediHerb makes one. Usually 1 teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons a day is all you need of it. Very good question. How often do I get to talk about hair transplants?
Yes, I'm going to Turkey as well.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Safe travels.
Other than that, no other questions have rolled in.
All right. The rule around here is if we don't get any questions for a minute or 2, we call it a wrap. Okay. 2 Boots, what time is it?
7:36.
Oh, that's even a good sesh. All right, I'm going to point something out. At the start of this, I mentioned omega-3s. It was still up on the board here. Omega-3s. Boop, 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 boop. Lots to do with heart health, lots to do with brain function, lots to do with fighting inflammation. Okay? In the month of February, we're starting omega-3 testing. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that we are looking for different ways to assess what's going on with your health. A lot of doctors run blood work, and I think blood work is really good. It doesn't tell us everything, though. So we do a lot of hair tissue mineral analysis here. And that's not better than blood work. It's different than blood work. And that's the most important part of it. This omega-3 testing, this is different than what standard blood work, standard medicine blood work, medical blood work, and it's different than the hair analysis. So again, we are trying to diversify how we are analyzing our clients, testing them in ways that they haven't been tested before, which means we're probably going to find out new info. Mm-hmm. More info or new info can make a case work so much better. The month of February, I've already ordered the test kits. The first 20 people to do the omega-3 testing are going to get 20% off. So if you're interested in that, I can send you the kit. This is really easy to do. I can send it by mail. You don't have to live down the street from me. What I need you to do so you can get an omega-3 test kit at the discounted rate is shoot us an email, 3dnewberlin@gmail.com. We will send you that omega test kit. We will go over the results with you. After the first 20 people, it's just going to be full price. We're going to keep doing this testing moving forward. Want to make sure you knew about it. Did I see another question rolled in?
Yeah, just another follow-up question from the hair transplant person.
Yeah.
Do you know why they'd say lower testosterone for post-hair transplant?
Yeah. So the concern with that is likely, and I don't work for the company, but the concern with testosterone is if we turn up testosterone levels, that can often result in the testosterone getting converted to a different hormone that wouldn't be good for hair growth. So their concern is likely that they just don't want too much going on in the body because there's the potential some of that would turn into an unwanted thing. Mm-hmm. That's why that 4-til-B12, that middle one I put up there, is so important because it doesn't force testosterone levels. It just helps the mechanisms that balance those hormones to perform optimally. So your testosterone levels, whatever's going on with them, your body is responding to them in a healthy way when you're getting those nutrients from 4-til-B12. Yeah, it's a really good question. Any other questions roll in?
That's it.
This was a great session, Kay. Thanks for being here. Is this number 84?
Yes.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Thanks to all of you. We'll be here next Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can ask Drew anything. Until then, stay well. And if you aren't well, just call us. I'll see you next week.